Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Last Word Sports. I'm your host tonight, Fletcher, and what we've got here tonight is a little bit of a Woj bomb. Well, I wouldn't say quite a Woj bomb, more of a Woj hand grenade, if you will. Um, John Beilein, I'm gonna say Beilein, has reportedly resigned as the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach. Now, this may not seem like a big deal to many people, considering the Cavs are just bottom feeders right now in the East. They literally have the worst record in the Eastern Conference, as you can see right here, 14-40 last in the East. But what this means is we could potentially be seeing the end of the career of one of the, in my opinion, best college coaches of all time. He's coached in college for, I believe it's got to be close to 40 years now. I think he's been coaching D1 for 30 some odd years. He's one of the best college coaches of all time. He coached at Michigan for I want to say like 12 years, before that West Virginia, and before that Richmond. He's a very decorated coach. He's had a lot of success in the tournament. Uh, he finally moved to the NBA to coach the Cavs, make a little bit more money before he's retired, and he's resigned halfway through the year as the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach. Now, can I blame him? No. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a complete mess. The front office, the GM, the ownership, it's a disaster. Now, what this means with Beilein leaving is that JB Bickerstaff takes over. Now, I'm sure most of you guys haven't heard of JB Bickerstaff if you're not a fan of the, the Cavs, obviously, or say the Grizzlies or the Rockets, because, well, he's just been an assistant coach or an interim coach in the absence of a coach throughout his career as a coach. So he will now be taking over as their head coach. This is him right here. He, as I previously stated, he coached the Grizzlies and the Rockets for short periods of times as an assistant. He was also a interim head coach when their coaches stepped down at the times when he was the assistant. So we're going to move on to his Wikipedia page. I believe, oh no, this is Beilein. Excuse me. But I believe it says his records as an interim head coach somewhere in this article. Actually, no, it was not in this article. It was this one, I believe. So, uh, Bickerstaff, Bickerstaff. Maybe not. Maybe it was ESPN. I apologize for this, guys. So, JB Bickerstaff, if we come down here, yes, at the bottom. So here, as the interim head coach with the Houston Rockets in the 2015-2016 season, he led them to the playoffs with a 37-34 record. In 2 seasons with this was the rebuilding Memphis. This is bottom feeder, absolutely terrible Memphis before they before they were a solid like 8-7 seed looking team. He went 15-48 as the interim coach with, you know, to his credit, the worst roster in the league at that time. And then following David Fizdale's firing, he went 33-49 as the Grizzlies interim coach when they were a little bit better in the next year. So looking at this, Bickerstaff hasn't been a coach anywhere but as mainly an assistant slash interim coach in the NBA, and he's shown that he can win. He's led the team to the playoffs with going above 500. Granted, it was the Rockets, and they're always a playoff team. They've always got a good record. And then he struggled with the Grizzlies one year and had a subpar year with them in 2018-19. However, I do think that this could end up being a good move for the Cavs because Beilein probably was not motivated at all. He, is obviously towards the tail end of his career. He's 67 years old. This is likely the end of Beilein, which is a shame overall because he is probably one of the best college coaches of all time. When it comes to looking at it, due to his success with especially Michigan, but was also solid at Richmond as well. It was West Virginia, yeah. But yeah, it's sad to see him go. However, I do think JB Bickerstaff could be good. He's younger for a coach. He's not totally young, but I think he could play a role as more of a player's coach, and we've seen that work out before in Cleveland. Now, obviously, they had LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, but what I'm saying is that it just seems like this move over to JB Bickerstaff after Beilein has resigned looks like it could end up, you know, being a solid move. Well, not really a move, but more like a solid way in which things rolled out because he's shown competence as a head coach. He's shown that he's definitely not the most inexperienced guy in the business. Uh he played college ball, ironically, during the time which Beelan has been coaching. Bickerstaff is uh co-worker, co-coach, I guess. Associate, it was a better word, was playing ball while Beelan was still coaching. He's just been around forever. But that's besides the point. Bickerstaff, he's experienced. He played college ball. He's been coaching that in the NBA since 2015. It's now 2020. That's 5 years of experience as mainly an assistant. I guess technically he's an interim coach again, but I would not be surprised if they moved over to Bickerstaff as the full-on head coach. He's shown a lot of promise in his young coaching career. He's only 40. He seems like a pretty solid players coach, and he has a pretty wide mind. He's a very active coach. Who knows what's going to happen in Cleveland? Obviously, they're still rebuilding. Don't expect them to make any noise this year, but in years to come, if they decide to keep JB Bickerstaff right here, I would not be surprised if it ends up paying off and they become a pretty solid playoff team. I'm not going to say they're going to become a contender or anything because obviously Giannis and the Sixers and the Celtics, how could I forget? Looks like they're going to be reigning over the East for years to come, but oh yeah, the Nets once KD is back. But in the meantime, you know, the Cleveland will always be that team. As soon as they're done rebuilding, obviously, they will be that team that's sort of able to make some noise, maybe play spoiler to a couple people, but not quite compete because they won't have the superstars of the rest of the East. Anyways, that will be concluding this video tonight. This has been Fletcher with the Last Word Sports. If you've enjoyed the video and want similar content or even better content, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I looked at the analytics just yesterday, and apparently 75% of the people who've been watching these videos have not been subscribed. So please hit the subscribe button. It'll really help out the channel. Anyways, this has been Fletcher with the Last Word Sports. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, day, wherever you are. See ya.